Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. It is currently a new week, Monday afternoon. I've made some few calls for my clients and scheduled a few telehealth appointments. I will also be doing a home visit tomorrow for one of my clients because one thing that my client would like to discuss, I'd rather talk about in person. So just a disclaimer, you guys may hear some background noise in terms of outside because the windows and the walls aren't really insulated well, so you guys will hear some background noise, so I do apologize for that. And I am getting a mic, hopefully to really focus on the sound when I'm recording from now on. I was going to do another vlog, like a week of my life kind of thing, but I decided to also add in, I guess, tips on how to be a good case manager. So the thing is, I've received many questions as to, Mion, what are some of the things that you use to become a good case manager? What are some of your tips and tricks, advice on becoming a very efficient case manager? With that, I'm thinking about focusing this video or this vlog based on what I do during the week or a few days of my weeks of what I do, but also give you guys tips on what I do to provide the services for my clients and how to be on top of your game, so that way you can see the results, because I know that's been a struggle for some of my viewers who are subscribed to my channel and who are also case managers. I'm also going to create a separate video as to where I find my resources, how I find it, so that way it can help you guys. But also keep in mind that the resources that I provide for you guys, it's based in Florida. So every state has their own different resources and services. However, sometimes they do kind of match up based on like different states, if that makes sense. With that being said, let's get to it. Okay, so I just finished making some calls. Some of them were a bit unsuccessful, but that's okay. So I guess I want to start with a few tips that I use in order to be efficient and effective during my case management services. So the first thing that I think is very important when you first become a case manager is to learn to build a rapport with your clients. And the reason why I say this is important because you're ultimately providing services to them. You're linking them to resources that they need because there's something in their life that they're missing, whether it's tutoring, job recruitment, training, vocational training, whatever it is, you are there to help them and to bridge that gap. So, however, the only thing is a client may not feel comfortable providing that information to you if they don't necessarily know you. So one of the first things that I do when I'm first assigned to a client is call them, schedule a telehealth appointment, and then just learn to get to know them. And from here, you have to learn how to listen, to be empathetic, to really be open to hearing what they have to say. So when you build rapport with them, it lets them know that you are there for them. You're not here to judge them. You're not here to do anything that will harm them. You're just there to listen, to help, and to provide the services they need in order to feel sustainable. So that would be my first tip, is to learn to build rapport with your clients. And within that, you're listening, you're actively listening, and you're just getting to know them. You're providing that space for them to be comfortable enough to tell you what's going on with their life and what are some of their needs that you can help them with. So that is tip number one. Tip number two that I would say is also very crucial for you to be an effective case manager is to maintain a consistent communication line with your clients, because I've heard stories where clients will not hear from their case managers for days, weeks, months. And to me, if I was a case manager, I feel like I would be doing a disservice to myself as well as my client, because I'm not maintaining that consistent communication with them. And the reason why that is important, because as a case manager, like I said before, you are linking them to resources, to services, and based on their needs. However, if you're going days, weeks, and months without speaking to them, you're not providing that service that they need. Not to mention, they are going if you hear squeaking in the back, that's my roommate playing with her dog. So so like I was saying, if you're going days, weeks, months without speaking to your clients, you don't know what they're going through. They could be going through a job issue, or they could be going through a medical issue where they need additional healthcare insurance, but you wouldn't know that if you're not maintaining that consistent communication with them. So one of the things that I do tell my colleagues when they're first starting is to build rapport with them, but then to also maintain a consistent communication line with them, because that's building on the foundation and the relationship that you're having with your clients and that trust. When you're building that trust with them and you're maintaining that consistency, you're showing them that you're here for them no matter what. So as you're maintaining those communications with your clients, you're able to really see what they're going through. If they need additional services while you're talking to them, also be like, oh, hey, okay, I didn't know that you were struggling with school, so let me find a tutoring services for you. So while you're maintaining these, like contacting them weekly, you're getting updates from them, and then within these updates, you may find additional needs that they may have that you can provide. I personally would contact my clients at least every week, at least once a week, sometimes more depending on who they are, because with that I'm able to assess their progress with therapy, medications they may be taking. But along with those assessments, I'm also gathering additional information I need in case I need to provide that service for them. So number 2 is to maintain that consistent communication with them. The next tip that I'm going to mention is one of many issues that case managers and clients tend to clash with. Now, so for tip number 3, I highly suggest for you to learn to set boundaries, rules, and expectations. Now, the reason why I say that is because within the case management field, people tend to get case management and personal secretary mixed up. There seems to be a blurred line. Now, as a case manager, my job is to assess my clients' needs and to link them to resources and services in order to bridge that gap. Now, nowhere within my job title am I their personal secretary. Now, when I mean that is, for example, I've heard many cases from clients and my colleagues where when a case manager is linking a client to like a healthcare insurance option, it's not my job to process your application. It's not my job to submit all of your documents, your applications to that healthcare provider. That's your job. My job as a case manager is to research additional healthcare options for you and then send you that information in order for you to apply yourself. Because within this case management services, not only is it my job to provide you resources, but it's also a moment for you to build that self-advocacy within yourself, because ultimately me as a case manager, I'm not going to be here forever for you. So as I'm providing you these resources, I'm going to give you opportunities to where you can learn how to stand on your own, if that makes sense. One of the things that we struggle with is clients will be upset saying, oh, well, isn't this your job? Aren't you supposed to be applying this for me? Aren't you supposed to be applying for TANF on my behalf? No, not really. My job is to give you that information, whether it's the TANF phone number, healthcare, Medicaid office number, how to process your healthcare insurance card, whatever the case may be. My job is to link you to that service. It's not my job to apply on your behalf to these services, because then that's doing a disservice to yourself, that you're not really learning and growing from this case management services, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's my next tip, which I think is very, very important, is to learn how to set rules, boundaries, and expectations on the first initial visit, because then that sets the tone of your case management relationship with your clients from here until whenever the discharge happens. The 4th tip that I think is very, very important for you to know when you're first starting off is don't be afraid to ask questions, whether it's your supervisor, a specialist you're contacting, or even your clients. For example, when you're first starting off as a case manager, you're going to have a lot of questions to your supervisor. Don't be afraid to contact them and asking them these questions. In fact, they prefer you to ask rather than making these mistakes down the line, because they understand that you're just starting and you're learning as you're going. Because one thing about case management is a lot of the supervisors train you on how to use the system that documents the services that we provide, but they don't necessarily train you in depth as to how you go about finding resources for them. So in that case, when you're first starting, you're getting your caseloads, you're nervous, you're scared, that's fine. just don't be afraid to ask your supervisors, like, hey, I have a client who's A, B, C, D, E, F, G. How can I find the services? Or based on your years of experience, where did you go to find these services so that way I can help them? Or can you point me in the right direction of where can I find the best healthcare insurance for them? So your supervisors are well aware that you're just starting, despite whether you have a bachelor's or a master's. They understand that they are supposed to guide you. That's their role. They're supposed to give you constructive criticism. They're supposed to guide you. This is why they're there. So don't be afraid to ask them questions. If you are unsure, it's rather safe than sorry than to ask and to try to figure things out on your own. Obviously, over time, when you have enough confidence, enough resources under your belt, you're able to figure out, like, okay, this is what I need to do. Okay, well, my client needs to speak to a recruiter through the Army branch. Okay, let me see if I can talk to a recruiter and link the service there, whatever the case may be. Over time, you will build that knowledge and the resources to figure out what it is that you need to do. One of the tips that I would give to you guys, if you're in the case management route or you're starting, to be comfortable asking questions. Along with not being afraid to ask questions, the next thing I will truly encourage for you guys to do is learn to be comfortable of making mistakes, because it will happen. I've been a case manager for some months now, and I'm still making little mistakes that I am still currently improving. Like, for example, how to bill appropriately on the services that I've been providing. We also, as a case manager, you are mandated to meet with your supervisor every week. In many cases, every time I meet with my supervisor, I always get this. My notes are great. It's well detailed. We use the SERP note format, so my agency provides a very meaty, detailed case notes, and I have no problem with that. Like, I quote everything I say. I quote everything my clients would say. However, the problem that I have is learning how to bill appropriately. So those are the billable services that I was telling you guys about. Apparently lately I've been under billing my services when I could be over billing, because the services that I provide, I like to give my clients my undivided attention. Like, I will move heaven and hell if I have to. Any services that they want, I will do my best to find that. Now with that, you have to bill appropriately, because you're putting in a lot of time and effort, and obviously there are rules on how you bill phone calls, how you build advocacy phone calls. There's just a lot that goes into it. So apparently I have been underbilling myself, and my supervisor was saying how that's not fair on my behalf, because all the services that I'm providing, I could easily bill an hour, I can easily bill 45 minutes, but I'm billing like 15 minutes kind of a thing, So that goes to say, even if you feel like you kind of grasp the whole idea of case management services, you will make mistakes along the way. So I would honestly say to be comfortable making mistakes and learn from it. Definitely learn from it. Don't take what your supervisors are telling you as insults or anything like that. They're just giving you constructive criticism. Take it. Don't take it to heart, and just learn from it. You're not perfect. You're human. We're all human. So this provides you that opportunity to learn and to grow as a case manager. So definitely be comfortable in making mistakes and learning from it. Tip number 6, I think. Tip number 6? Yeah, tip number 6. This is also a holy grail, a rule that I always follow with my clients. Do not take anything personal. I promise you, once you come to that realization, it will make your life much easier, because ultimately you have to remember that you are coming into your client's life at their most vulnerable time. It's not comfortable for them to come to you to say, hey, I need help. And sometimes you will have clients who are mandated and who don't want the help. So in many cases you will have clients who will lash out at you, curse at you, not show up to the telehealth appointment y'all scheduled, or would say, I think this is pointless, I think case managers are whatever the insult may be. Just don't take it personal. And sometimes you will catch your client on a bad day and they just don't want to be bothered. It is up to you as the profession to put aside your emotions, your thoughts and feelings, and to provide that space for them to say, you know what, it's okay. You know, it's okay if it's not your day. It's okay if you don't want to talk. If we need to reschedule, then that's fine. We will talk when you are feeling up for it. But whatever you do as their case manager, do not take it personal, because then that will reflect badly on you, if that makes sense. But then also, when you don't take it personal and then you reconvene with that same client, you know, sometimes a client will apologize saying, hey, you know, I apologize, I overstepped, I didn't mean to lash out on you, I apologize. Or sometimes you just have to be the bigger person and understand that today wasn't their day. And we all have those days where we just don't want to be bothered. It happens. So tip number 6, I would definitely say, based on my experience, when you are providing services for your clients, whether it's healthcare, in a private practice, whatever, don't take things personal. Okay, so the last tip I have for you guys is to practice self-care. That is so important, because we as case managers, social workers, healthcare professions, we absorb a lot of trauma from our clients. And the reason why the social work field has an increase in burnout rate is because, you know, we go through a lot. We take a lot from our clients in terms of like absorbing what they're going through, making sure that they're doing okay. The burnout rate is very, very high because we become so jaded in our profession. You know, we get depressed, we lack, you know, we overwork ourselves too. So one thing that I really, really highly promote for, or what I really tell my colleagues, is to practice self-care, whether it's working out every day, doing yoga, taking walks on the trails, playing with your dogs, spending time with family, going on vacation. Definitely make time for self-care throughout the week, throughout the month, throughout the day even. A simple self-care technique that you can use is just simple breathing activity, even if it's for 15 minutes. When you're so stressed, you're overwhelmed with your clients, just stop. Just take a moment to stop and breathe. Because sometimes it's just a lot of built-in frustration that things aren't working out. You know, the best thing you can do is just breathe. Just breathe. You know, little things like that will definitely improve your work ethic. It will maintain your sanity, if that makes sense. One of the things that I do, or I'm trying to re-implement with the whole coronavirus, is to get back into working out. You know, I haven't worked out since the coronavirus came in and hit Florida so badly. So now that, you know, Body Tech is starting to open, our gym is starting to open again, that tends to help me remain calm, remain sane. I also like to draw, to paint. You know, that's where I find my zen and where I'm able to feel calm and re-ground myself. So tip number 7, and the last tip for myself that I will give to you guys, is to practice self-care. And you will see that it will improve your own work ethic, but it will also help you to continue to provide that top-notch service for your clients. So that will be my tip number 7. Okay, so that was all of the tips that I have for you guys for this week. Obviously there's more, so if there are any case managers, social workers, healthcare professionals who are watching and who would like to provide some of their tips and tricks of what they do, please put it in the comment section below. Aside from that, I'm going to make another video where I show you guys how I maintain like my spreadsheet of resources that I use to provide for my clients, as well as where I find them. Again, this is for the Fort Lauderdale, Miami area, so this isn't like a nationwide thing. However, hopefully with the way I find my resources will help you, and to give you like a light bulb jog for your own resources that you can provide for your clients. So with that, I'm going to continue my day, call some more clients, and hopefully work out, because right now it's hurricane season, so things are looking a little bit gloomy right now. So hopefully I can stick in a little workout session and then continue on about my day. So let's get to it. Hey guys, what's going on? I decided what I'm going to do is just end this video here, only because I really want to upload this video, because I think this will be very useful for you guys. So I'm going to end it here. If you like this and found it very, very helpful, please like and subscribe to my channel, join the family, and I'm hoping the next video I upload will be how I find my resources, how I keep it all in one spreadsheet. That way it's organized and ready to go if I need to link my clients to services just like that. If you have any questions or comments about how to become a case manager, social worker, or even joining the MSW programs that you may be considering, please feel free to email me or follow my Instagram or just leave a comment in the comment section below. Other than that, I guess I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
If you need to learn how to talk to a lady, ask your mum.